Welcome back to Where Blades Walk. Hope you're well. What a massive win that was against Ipswich Town. Was it the best win of the season? We've got Connor, Shax and Dan fresh back from the fortress, which is now Bramall Lane, to look back on another 3 points for United. Hope you're doing well. Plus, this week we're also looking at new contracts. Would we rather be signing up Brooks and Sariki for new contracts rather than trying to sign anybody else in this window? And just how far can we push up that table in the remaining 15 or 16 games? Let's jump straight into it then, shall we? Connor, welcome back. First of all, if you're looking for us last week, apologies. The man flu hit me. I'm just about recovered, so apologies if I, hopefully, manage to get through the next 20 minutes without sneezing and spluttering. Connor, you were there yesterday. Who impressed you the most?
Well, I think everyone in the team, to be honest. I don't think there was a bad performance from everyone. Even the subs that come on did a good job. I think in particular for me, Tom Davies, I think he really stood out. I was sort of worried before the game beforehand. I was thinking they're in really good form. They have got some good players on paper. And yeah, I was worried, thinking that maybe it was going to be Peck and Arblaster again. And after Southampton game, it didn't really fill me with confidence. But as soon as I saw Tom Davies hit line up, it sort of settled my nerves a bit, and I thought we can have a good game here. And he managed to last an hour. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he can go again at Millwall, because we're going to be light on bodies here. But yeah, everyone, Sariki and Brooks, for me, I think they should be playing every game. I don't really know. I get that we've got to rotate team a bit, but for me, them two on right hand side, because they've come through academy together, they've got such a good partnership. And I think most of the time, especially when we went through that purple patch and we had a good run of games, a lot of that was down to them two being in the team. And they had such a good threat going down that side. They work, they track back together. Brooks puts an absolute shift in. I don't know how many times he puts tackles in. But yeah, everyone. I mean, Callum O'Hare, he brings the team forward. And when we play with a high press and we've got that energy, we can beat anyone in this league. I won't be concerned. It's just the fact we don't seem to have the players that we can do it every game. And just for instance, that Southampton game, we didn't do that, and it was an awful watch. So yeah, it was really good. Everyone impressed me, and it's just more a concern about Millwall now. We how many we've got out suspended.
Yeah, just on the Tom Davies one you mentioned there, Deborah says he was quality, testament to how good he is when he's hardly played and can put in a performance like that. And somebody was saying, Connor, he's one of the best midfielders in the whole division on his day. On his day, would you agree?
Yeah, he can't stay fit. That's the only thing. It hurt me when we signed him, because I knew he had quality, but it's the fact that he can't stay fit. And we're lucky if we get 15, 20 appearances out of him. If he could play 40 games a season, 100%, he'd be one of the best players in the league, but he probably won't be playing for United if he could stay fit.
Yeah. Okay. Lots more to talk about then. Let's jump on to some other bits as well. Dan, let's talk about this fella, shall we? Rob says that was the Cooper of last season today. Man of the match award. Agree?
Yeah, I thought he would. Last couple of good performances, to be honest, against Southampton. He kept him in game as well. I think it's been a little bit of a stop-start season for him. He's made one or two errors, but he's still a quality goalkeeper for me. But I don't think he were potentially wouldn't have been my man at match. I think I would have given that to Andre Brooks. But yeah, on the conversation of Cooper, really good. We've got a really good goalkeeper there. And I think the criticism he's received this season, people just have to realise that's what he is, his quality, and to do what he did last season on a consistent basis is going to be difficult. But I think we're lucky to have him. I'll be honest.
Last week, Shaxon, we missed recording with the 2 red cards, of course. This week, another red card. I want to get your view on it. Jack says, great result, and it was the biggest result of the season so far. Keeps things so much alive. Just a shame about Bamford's red card. Lads were outstanding, man to man. Yeah. I mean, first of all, do you think was it the biggest result at home this season? Just before we get to Bamford.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was best performance and best result, because, like Connor said earlier, they've got a lot of good players on paper. Don't know about good players on pitch, but they've got a lot of good players on paper, and we got drubbed at their ground. I think it was 5-0. So it on paper it were a difficult game, but that were our best best 90 minutes, I'd say, as a team this season, and a result showed. I mean, 3-1 probably let them off a bit. Really, could have been 4 or 5.
Yeah, and just on Bamford's red card.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit old school. I'm not one for that diving, so I can't moan about players diving against us and then say that's all right. So for me, I'd straight red anybody that dives anyway. I wouldn't even mess about with a yellow card because it's just I just hate to see it. That's why I can't watch Premier League and I can't watch some foreign leagues because that's all they're doing. To me, it was just stupid. But he's got one of my mates said today. We're talking about he's got a bit of credit in bank because of how he's played, but I'm not one for that diving. There were an incident in first half where Sariki went down in box, and I thought that were a penalty, and then referee's not give it. So if he's not give it, he's got to think that's a dive and all, and he didn't punish that. But I thought that was a foul, and we didn't get that. So kind of referee yesterday weren't the best. I don't think it never really seemed to have control, but. As for the actual dive, it's inexcusable, really, and it's just stupid.
Yeah, I think we'll let the EFL player of the month for December off. A small mistake, won't we? Connor, this Blaze fan says that team against Ipswich should have played against Southampton. That's my only moan from this game. It was brilliant from all of them to get. What was wrong against Southampton?
Well, firstly, people moaning about that we're not playing the same team every week. I think when we're playing 2 games every week, you can't really expect the same team to come out every game. And we've got so many players that are dealing with long-term injuries, like likes of Davis and stuff like that you've got to manage them. There's a lot of players that I think we all know that can't do full 90s, like Gus and stuff like that. So again, you've got to think about players like that. We're a questionable lineup, don't get me wrong. I thought there were a few more he could have included, but at the same time, you've got to understand Wilder's got his hands tied behind his back, so to speak, that we've got a limited squad. Half of them are out suspended. We've got injuries. We've got people coming back from injuries, people nursing injuries. There's so many things that you can go on throughout the squad. You can't really expect the same team to play every week. I wish we could. If we have our strongest 11 out every week, I don't think we've got a problem beating anyone in this league. It's when we have to use our squad players that aren't as good. When you look at, we've got Tanganga and Binden who have formed a right good partnership, and O'Hare and Gus have got a right good partnership, and Brooks and Sarike, but we can't play them all the time. I wish we could, but I understand fans get annoyed by it, and then we go and drop points in a very winnable game against a not so good Southampton side. I think they were no wins in 7. So it's frustrating, especially when we go to Charlton and don't pick out up as well. And then the game, which you'd think is unlikely for us to go and pick points up, and we go and put in a stormer of performance. So I don't want to moan about it too much. It is what it is. Wilder's probably going to make changes again, but I think if we can get a few more lads back in, Riderwold and lads back from suspension, I think we can hopefully start to see a more settled side then.
Okay. Still 6 points above the drop. Dan, are you still in this conversation for relegation, or were you not too concerned about that? Huh?
I'm not too concerned about that, just with the squad we've got. There's a bit of inconsistency, and that's the same with a lot of teams. We've just got to manage it, haven't we? We've got to manage the players, manage the squad, and just go and pick results up. I think going down to 9 men against Charlton, it's easy to say. I think there's a result in that for us if we keep 11. Easy to say that. Southampton the other night, I think Bamford's missed a sitter to probably get us a point, but listen, it's going to be tight. But I think we're better than a lot of teams down there, and I think we'll pick up enough points to pull away from that, and hopefully we can. Next week's going to be probably toughest with 3 players suspended. We'll see what's what, but if we can go there and get a point, I think it's a great result, and then hopefully on to Oxford and pick up 3 more points and see where we are then. But there's some really poor teams behind us, I think, and so I think we'll be all right.
Okay. Sorting the away form out, Shax, is going to be key to that, isn't it? Of the last 5 away games, we've lost to Wrexham, We've lost to West Brom, we've lost to Charlton, and we've lost to Southampton. And now you play a Millwall side who are right in form. What is there any fundamental differences we need to make to how we set up away from home?
Not that I can see. Just team selection. Like obviously yesterday, look, that team looked a lot better than that team we picked at Southampton. But we seem to have developed. I mean, it's not just a Sheffield United thing. It's like a thing in football. This thing that they can't play twice in a week, and it's like a law. What seems to only apply to footballers that they can only run about once a week now. I can't ever remember that being a problem like back years ago. But now there's that many scientists and bloody dietitians and all these involved saying, "Oh, they can't play twice in a week." Well, it's a shame that rule doesn't apply to the rest of the world because we all have to go to work every day a week, and there's other athletes where they do their job every day a week or they play twice in a week, and it never seems to come up. Like boxers, when they're training for a fight, they're training every single day a week, sparring every single day a week. But footballers seem to get this way out. So if we could somehow keep that same 11 playing every single game, I think we could sort us away format. But we never seem to be able to do that. Like Connor said earlier, we're just managing too many snowflake players. Just every Tom Davis being another one. He was brilliant yesterday, but I also read a tweet that we've given $5.5 million in wages in 3 years. If that's what I'm getting for my $5.5 million, 60 minutes that are decent every now and again, then it don't represent value, does it? So in this transfer window, I would like to see us sign some fitter players, not necessarily better, fitter players, so we can keep the same 11 playing every single game rather than this chopping and changing, because we've seen that don't work, as you saw at Southampton. That 11 can't play like that 11 that played yesterday.
We have got a week left of the transfer window. Dan, there's been some talk around forget signing new players, just sign Brooks and Sariki up to new contracts. What's your view on all of that?
Yeah, I think when you've got players like that, same as probably Peck as well, and maybe Blaster, who have got quite a few more years under him, I think those boys are important to tie down and better than signing anybody really. But that's, if you can extend them, and I think a special mention on Gus Aimer as well, because he's had his criticisms over the last few weeks. Come in yesterday, 2 assists, best player in Championship for the last 2 years. People say he's fat and lazy. There you go. I don't need to say out else on it. Keeping players like that, are going to help us. But it looks to me like that might be the only way we can raise some funds by selling a couple of players, and Gus might be one of them, sadly. But we'll see. But going back to them boys, get them nailed down to long-term contracts and don't sign anybody else. And that for me is sound.
Yeah, would you be happy that, Connor, if no one else comes through the door between now and next Monday?
I'd like to see maybe 1 or 2 come in. I'd absolutely love to get Sarike, Brooks, all the young lads down to new contracts. I know some are expiring at the end of next season. Obviously, we seem to have got in that position a lot recently where players are going into the last year with the contracts and then we're cashing in for a smaller fee than what their actual true value is. It happens in football, some players just won't sign new contracts. But for me, I think the squad, I wouldn't say it's bare thin, but like now we've had a few suspensions, suddenly we've only got 2 centre-halves at club. So maybe centre mid and centre back, maybe I'd like to see maybe 1 or 2 come in. I know we've got rid of some at loans that we had, Louis Barry and Godfrey and that, so we've got loans to free up. The best players that you're going to get on loan, you never get them until end at window. Morgan Gibbs-White is one of the best loan players I've ever seen us have. We didn't get him till deadline day. They're all going to wait there. You've got all agents in play there saying, let's just wait till end, sort of assess your options then sort of thing. So I think there probably is some good players that we're looking at, but you just got to bide your time. I know everyone says it, that we always do our stuff really slow. United always take it to end. But I think most of it is out United's hands. We've got to wait to see what players come back with Premier League clubs, if they're happy to send the young players here. I've seen a few good players linked with us from various different clubs. So yeah, I'd definitely like to see a couple more added. I'd be really disappointed if it were just Mr. Hoover at right back that we brought in.
The thing is, though, as well, me and Shaq were in a conversation yesterday, and when you look at the squad, do we really, when everyone's back from suspension and injury, which is only one more game, is only Jamie Shackleton out injured, unless I've missed anybody. Do we really need anybody else? Because who's going to come in and replace? Who's going to play ahead of?
Too many injury-prone players, Dan.
Yeah, who's going to come in and replace Riedeveld? When he's back fit, I get it in midfield. He'll probably want one more so he can maybe reduce Blaster's minutes. Centre back, you're always going to have Tanganga and Binden. He's going to be somebody really good to come in and replace them. He's brought Ayaveri at right back, who's not as good as Sariki, and that's perfect for him. So for me, I'm just looking at it and thinking, he ain't going to waste on somebody. It's like a loan. It's a difficult one because if you're fetching somebody on loan, for me, that loan player's got to play. And that's the fine line of, if you've got 5 midfielders with Samara and Riedeveld fit, where does the lone boy fit into that? So it's a tough one. And I know what you mean about Davis and Blaster and Peck, especially Davis and Arblaster. You're going to have to manage their minutes now till the end of the season, probably reduce Arblaster with a new signing because Alex Matos is going to leave as well. So, yeah, it's a tough one because I don't know, me. Do you look at another centre forward when you've got Ryan Wanny as a 5th striker? I don't know. It's an hard one because is anybody getting in ahead of Brooks when he's playing as well as what he is? Oh, Benny's going to be a squad player.
For me, it's about competition, isn't it? You've got to have competition to push someone, and at the minute, Brooks has not got anyone to push him, and having someone in that's going to push him and might make him a better player, develop a bit more, just something like that. I think it's just a disappointing winner if only thing we bring in is one right back.
Yeah.
Okay. There was some debate, Shax, online before the game yesterday around who's the better player, Callum O'Hare or Jack Clark. Both of them obviously quite up-and-coming players. Based on what you saw yesterday, who's the better player?
Is that a joke question? I'm not even Callum O'Hare's biggest fan. I mean, this season he has been brilliant, but that Jack Clark is embarrassing me. If he didn't have pink boots and an Alice band, he'd be worth about 300 grand. He's awful. What an awful player he is. He does this. He's like a fake Jack Grealish. It's just. I've never ever seen him in a game where I thought, especially against us, I've not seen much of him after playing us, but it's just awful. He just strolls around like doing no. He's got them shins on the shore that are just asking to be just go through him at about 50 mile an hour. He's got a bloody hairband in with his hairband like he's in one direction. He's just not for me. No chance. He would not be getting in a Wilder side. No chance. Not in a million years. He's just not. I don't know what other two lads thought yesterday. I thought he were absolutely shocking. And when you're talking about money they paid for him, not for me. O'Hare blinds him. Every one of our midfielders blinds him. When he had a little stint on right, and Brooks way better than him, O'Hare better than him, Amer better than him. It won't even be on. He'd struggle to get in our 11. 100% he'd struggle to get in our 11 on what I saw yesterday.
Okay, that settles that argument then. Cheers, Shax. Right, let's move on then, shall we? Millwall this weekend. Tanganga's card is overturned. It hasn't been overturned, sorry, so he can't play in that game. Dan, is that right? Decision, by the way, just quickly?
Probably looking back at it at first, when you first see it, probably not. But yeah, I think he has gone with leading arm. I don't think he's gone to hurt him, but I think it's right. I think Samari as well, both right. If that had been against us, we'd have been in uproar about it. So yeah, it's a shame for him because I think he was playing well, but. Again, the two boys yesterday were coming at centre back who aren't people's biggest fans. Had a decent game, but we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully, Tyler Binden's back as well. So,
no chance with their red cards. No chance. Neither of them.
None of them.
Samar's gone to win ball. He has actually just clipped ball, and then that kid's late, and that's why he gets caught. Well, and Tanganga, that referee sent him off because he had an argument with him about 5 minutes before. He's already got face on with him. And if Tanganga had sneezed at him, he'd have sent him off.
Well, I think if Samares
to red card him.
If Samares is a red, then the one on McCallum, who's I believe had stitches for the same tackle.
One on O'Hare yesterday.
Yeah,
Exactly the same.
that's.
You've gone football and you've caught him. I
I mean,
don't
you're
think
having,
if you go football and you just clip it, and then what happens after, that's not a red card because that's not what you're in control of. Your thought is to try and get the ball. And he's not got some air. You can see he's not gone to hurt that kid. He's not gone to foul
yeah.
him. It's just because somebody gets hurt, don't mean it's a foul. And that's what's happened with that kid.
I
He's
think
just gone in. If they're out of the tour, he's the one that's late because he's the one that didn't touch ball.
it's like
Shocking red cards, pair of them.
It's like going back to yesterday with certain refereeing decisions, and Chris Wilder said it. There is a massive divide because from where I sit, I could hear Chris Wilder clearly asking the fourth official in no uncertain terms, has he done that to his own face? And he's ended up picking and bucking up from that because
for it last week.
Yeah, exactly, and we've had, and that's for me, it's a red card, and why didn't he give it him? Because he scored the goal. He's come out with his studs showing, and he's got a goal all day long. And then the one from Sariki, I'm like Shaqs. I've seen it myself live and think it's a penalty. I've looked back at it this morning. It's a better dive than Bamford's. It's a yellow card, and there's no consistency. Many of them. Every time Tom Cannon's jumped for an header in second half, kid's got two hands in his back. It doesn't matter what level of football it is, it's foul, and they don't want to give him. But if a centre half does it in box, attacking a corner, it's foul. So it's just a massive gripe for me that there's no consistency in refereeing, and it's really poor.
We still don't want VAR though, do we?
No. We don't want VAR. I don't want soft referees. I don't want all these idiots on Twitter saying, "Oh, it's an horror tackle," all that. Wishing you well and putting bloody peace symbols, and I hope he gets better. It just makes you feel sick. It's just embarrassing. Yeah. It's an horror tackle. Just get over it. Two lads have gone in for a 50-50. One of them's got hurt. He goes home. He gets paid. Just get on with it. All this sending my love to Arvin or so sorry from Sheffield, and that's a disgusting, horrible tackle. They want to go back to 80s and 90s. Go and watch Roy Keane and Ireland, and then see if you think that were an horror tackle, because it's just getting out of hand. Eventually, I don't know where it's going to end. You're going to have bloody fans sitting together holding hands, neutral zones, and always it just needs to stop. Just them referees need to just all get together at the start of the season and say, right, we're having it now, old school tackles, flying. If you go in football, you genuinely go in football and you get ball, but fair enough, done. Stop this bloody rule. Oh, he's not fouled him, but the intent were there, so we're going to red card. What's that all about?
They were won years ago, weren't they? When we were first in the Premier League under Neil Warnock back in 2006. Correct me if I'm wrong. Stephen Gerrard's been off balance, got his shot off. Keeper saved it. The refs pulled it back for intent and given a penalty.
Embarrassing. Football's just heading in a way that it's just you can't even tackle somebody anymore.
Yeah,
there's 35,000 camera angles that one of them might show that it looks like it were a foul, so we'll red card.
I mean,
it's embarrassing.
There were one positive yesterday for that Faris Alam, the referee in Man City game. VAR wanted him to look at a penalty, and he's facing his own goal. The Wolves defender bounced up, he's in natural running position, he's hit his hand and he's gone to the screen and said, I'm not giving it. I think that's great that he's gone against what VAR have said, and more refs need to do that to make it a little bit better.
Cheers for sharing that. I feel for your wife, Shax. It feels like you've held that for 2 weeks since we were here last week.
Oh, mate, honestly, I've seen one even better than that today. I've seen a United fan saying that we should about Barry Bannon. It's time for United fans to put rivalries aside and say what a legend he's been for Sheffield Wednesday. I nearly threw up reading it. Honestly, I nearly threw up reading it. In fact, the second I read it, I blocked him. I unfollowed him and blocked him. But you're not a United fan saying that.
Okay. Would you like to send a message to Barry Bannon at all, any of you? Whilst we're on that topic?
You've never won a derby match.
Today, I just wanted to say I was going to have a minute's silence, but I had a minute's laugh instead. And a drink to celebrate it.
Right. Okay, let's focus on United stuff then. We're up to the letter M in our A to Z. If you're a regular viewer, what we ask the team here for is one player from yesteryear or any event that they can remember from this famous club's history that belongs on the one page of our encyclopedia we're putting together. We've got to the letter M, so that will be there chance to put that right in a second. It's also got something about managers as we're on to M, though. We're asking you, who's the best manager in terms of the style of football that you've ever watched in your lifetime? So we're going to do bad managers next week. So in the comments, please, can you let us know who the worst manager in terms of style of play is? We know Sellers might win that in terms of results, but in terms of the worst style of play that you're just bored by, let us know, and we'll read some of these out next week. But who gets the accolade for the greatest Sheffield United manager in your lifetime, Connor, in terms of who you enjoyed watching the most?
There isn't really anyone other than Chris Well. I mean, Neil Warnock were good when I was growing up, but they weren't really sort of a good style of play. But very direct and just chuck a bunch of strikers on and go for it, sort of thing. And don't get me wrong, I love watching United when we're under Warnock and get into Prem and all that. But a 3-5-2 system with overlapping centre backs, and it weren't really anything that anyone had sort of seen before in Prem. And watching Jack O'Connell and Chris Basham, I mean, I can remember Chris Basham turning into prime Maradona and taking about 5 City players on running down line, and just that entire team and the way we played from when he come in and he changed formation and we just had that attacking system. And I can remember first season we had like Kieran Freeman playing right back and he was scoring bags of goals. And then we just went from strength to strength, and just everything about that team, it just excited me. I couldn't wait to go to match every single week, and we're just on such a momentous rise and getting our way to top 10 in Premier League. I can't really see us ever sort of beating that in any time soon anyway. That journey was just unbelievable, and the style of football we played then, I haven't really seen anything else like it under United.
Okay. Dan?
Yeah, I think I've got to say the first few seasons under him, the overlapping centre halves, things like that. But I think as well, the season we went up in second under Paul Eckingbottom when we had Sander Berger, I thought that was some great football in that as well. And you can say about the other teams, Dave Bassett, back in the 90s when we used to hit Dean direct onto Organa, and then Neil Warnock had his style. But I think we're really good in that Premier League season. Nobody could really deal with us when we were overlapping. You've seen the centre half stood inside their box, and you've got extra men all over the place. And we were always going to get found out that second season because you can't play like that for 2 seasons. You've got to change it up. But that was really good. But when he first come in that League One season, we just blew everybody away. Every week you score, you knew you were going to win. And the style of football was just quick. We were just on it. It was great. So probably Chris Wilder gets that for me, especially back in his early days.
Okay. And Shex?
I'm going to say the Eckingbottom when we got 92 points. I think I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Wilder's season in Premier League, of course I did, and obviously he's up there. But that season with Eckingbottom, watching Ndai in full flow every week, he was just brilliant. And personally, for me, I'm not going to just say Wilder because it's easy to say. I personally enjoyed that season. I think we broke points record for Championship, I think, at time. And it was just away from home, especially. I thought we were
mad,
brilliant. And they were a game when we played Burnley at home, and we were 1-1 down, I think, at half time, and we put 4 past them in second half. We beat them 5-2, and I can't remember a game under any manager where there were 2 really good sides like that. We were down at half time, and we absolutely crushed them that second half, just wave after wave after wave of attacks. And watching them players in that season and Berg, they were frightening. And also another shout for Eckingbottom as well is when he took us over. He took us from a low under Jukanovic, and he really changed us into a top side. So I'm going to go Eckingbottom. Was
that the season when we played Fulham on last game of the season at home and they'd won league? I think we beat them 4-0.
4-0,
yeah. Great season, 92 points. That was the one I was referring to with Sander Berger, and yeah, that was a great season as well. I think those two definitely on a par for me.
I think we did a bit of a dirty on Eckingbottom and all. When we did get to Premier League, what we give him to work with were just embarrassing. If we'd have given Eckingbottom what we've always given Wilder, if we'd have let him have 25 million to send to Liverpool for a kid what wouldn't even get in Sunday League, then it might have been a different story, but we sent Eckingbottom out to a war with a bloody kitchen knife, you know what I mean? We had Ben Osborne and Chris Basham in midfield in first game of the season, so I think he ran and I didn't know before we kicked a ball in Premier League. But I would have liked to have seen Eckingbottom get bites and have a go in Premier League.
Okay. Great shouts all around. Let us know in the comments your thoughts. In particular, let us know the opposite to that. Who's your worst ever? And we'll definitely read some of these out next week. Thanks for that. Right, letter M then. Here we go to finish off with. Open forum. Anyone got a good shout for
Chris
this,
Morgan.
please?
Chris Morgan.
Yeah, very obvious one. Obviously, the other really good centre-back that we made, Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
And I got a Brazilian striker, Marcelo. Marcelo back in day, were in that mid-90s. He were a bit left field. There weren't many people called Marcelo that lived in Sheffield or played in Sheffield at the time, and he stood out. He was a bit of an hero for younger ones when around that time. Everyone wanted to be Marcelo, but yeah, he was good. And then obviously Chris Morgan, brilliant. He's my favourite ever United player. Harry Maguire, we didn't really see him. He weren't that long, but quality. But Marcelo for me.
2 votes for Chris Morgan then, so I think we'll definitely go with that one. Now the letters.
I think it's a great shout. I'll be honest, Marcelo's a great shout as well. But there were another one I was thinking of was Sean Murphy, who I thought were a great centre back as well. But I think the other two are just ahead of him, to be honest.
Nobody said Mark McGuinness.
Oh,
Not yet.
Yeah.
There's time yet. In the comments then, who they missed for the letter M, let us know that, of course, as well. Now, they're coming up with some very tricky letters on the next coming weeks, so they're going to need your help. So stay tuned with us for O and Q coming up as well. Good luck with that one in a couple of weeks' time. Brilliant. Right, thanks for your viewership, of course, as well. Love making this content for you. 20 minutes, well, actually 30 minutes this week of Sheffield United chat. Great to have your company, but there's apologies for last week. We'll see you the other side of what's going to be a very, very interesting game this weekend at the Den. We'll catch you on the other side of it. I think the Blades are heading up. Maybe squeak of the playoffs. We'll see. Catch you next week.